movieweb.com.
I've known Henry since I was 6 years old. I remember the first day we met.
Travel through time. In fact, you and I are friends in the future, when you're a lady.
There's no such thing as time traveler.
Well, if you hang around long enough, you'll see me disappear.
1 second he was there, and the next, he was gone.
Really a touching movie, even affected my granite heart. And I was thinking to myself, like, you guys have such great chemistry. You know, that's one thing that, you always ask people, how do you develop chemistry? So how do you, get that great rapport that you guys have in this movie?
The truth is, I don't think you can really do anything about it. I don't even think you can, like, manufacture it in rehearsal. Or I think you either just have it, you either like each other, or you don't. I don't think there's really much you can do about it, is there? We hate each other, and we have been fighting it since day one.
It worked out okay. Yeah, and that's true. You can not like each other, and it can work out on screen. I mean, they're sort of two totally different worlds in a weird way. It's make-believe.
I think the worst thing you can do is try and force it. I mean, I was already a huge fan of Rachel, so I knew it wouldn't be that hard. But I think the worst thing you can do is come to rehearsal and go, ooh, we better like each other, and we better get along.
This is such a touching movie, and I'm watching it and I'm realizing the chemistry between the actors is really what's making this work, because you really believe that they have this, really existential love. Talk about casting Eric Bana and Rachel, and tell me why you thought they were perfect for this part.
Rachel was involved actually before I became involved, and but she was a perfect choice for Claire. She has a lot of the same qualities. She's very artistic. And then when we met with Eric, we realized, that he would bring to it a generosity and sort of a decency that would really ground the movie. So you always take a bit of a gamble when you put two people in front of a camera and you put them on the screen. Sometimes they do have chemistry, sometimes they don't. We were hoping that our instincts were right, and we shot a test, and during that test they clowned around, and that's when we realized, this was going to work.
All right, so there really wasn't any rehearsal before the primary filming?
There was a 2-week rehearsal process, but during that rehearsal you don't really know what happens on screen. I mean, for example, with Rachel, there's almost an alchemical reaction between her face and the lens. It's really something that you can't gauge until you put it on screen, and chemistry is similar. I mean, people can get along famously, privately, and not have chemistry.
I never wanted to have anything in my life that I couldn't stand losing. It's too late for that. It's not because you're beautiful and smart and perfect. I don't feel alone anymore. Will you marry me?
There's some scenes in this film that are so touching. It kind of really gets you. I mean, when you're on set and you're filming for hours and hours and hours, how do you keep that intimacy, that magic that happens where the audience can relate to the character so well?
Well, you just have to keep constant. You have to create an environment, an atmosphere on the set that allows the actors to feel very safe, and that allows them to go to these sometimes very hard places to play these emotions, to dredge up emotions that are hard to get to and hard to sustain. And you try to help them as much as you can, but it's really in the end them. It's really, they're doing it in front of the camera, and you feel it on the set. I mean, it's not just something that is being done through editing or through music or through something else. It transpires on the set right then and there.
So like after you've been on set all day, you've done like 10 setups, it's been 15 hours on. I mean, how do you get that last take to have as much as that first take? Especially in these really intimate scenes that you guys have.
You're so great about that, because you're always having a good time and you make it fun. So.
Unprofessional of me. Yeah, no, I do try to, you know, for my own guilty pleasure, try and, you know, keep it light and fun as much as possible, especially when you're doing really heavy
stuff.
More when it's heavy subject matter, because otherwise, you know, the energy of everyone can drop down. So you got to try and make sure everyone's having a good time and staying awake.
I walked in totally cold. I had not read the book. I was actually completely unaware of the actual concept of the film. And there are a few scenes that are just so beautiful and touching. And I was wondering, when you read the script, did you really get that same emotional punch? Or when you finally saw the finished product, where you're like, wow, this is so much deeper than I thought it would be?
It was, I was very touched by the book, and I was thrilled with our script, with our screenplay, and I think the film lives up to it. I think the film has as much emotion and enough of those pivotal moments, I mean, of your character giving birth, and like there's a few, you know, really key scenes for me that really tip it into that territory.
I also love that Robert was really focused as much on those pivotal moments as the everyday moments, you know, of, you know, cooking a turkey dinner together and sitting on the couch reading, and, you know, which I don't think you know, in movies it's like you're trying to keep the audience's attention and everything's moving so fast-paced, or you have explosions or whatever it is, but, you know, he really took time to go, let's watch a real relationship unfold with the, you know, these extraordinary circumstances, which, you know, everyone has their own struggles, but, you know, let's just see this slice of life relationship and how it truly unfolds, and I loved that.
I travel through time. I can't control it. It just happens. I wish it didn't.
You're back.
Did I miss Christmas?
What do you want to talk about? How bad it feels to sit here and wait for you? What's wrong with me wanting one normal thing in my life? You think that I wanted this life? This husband that disappears? Who would want that?
I have a choice.
I never had a choice.
I don't want you to spend your life waiting.